G'day guys, welcome back to another Collingwood review on the channel. A very late review, but today I'll be reviewing our final game of the home and away season that occurred over a week ago. Sorry about the late review. Yeah, very late. The ridiculous amount of homework I've been getting recently and assignments due, it's been ridiculous. I've had absolutely no time to do this review. That is why I'm reviewing it almost a week and a half after the game. But yeah, it was obviously Collingwood getting the job done. Final game of the season. Obviously before finals, we got the job done by 70 points in what was a fantastic game. A game that was fantastic to watch. I attended the game with my mates, and it was a pretty good game. Let's be fair. Obviously, always going to be good if we get a 70-point demolition. And what a first quarter we had, kicking the 8 goals to 0 in the first quarter, kicking 12-2 in the first half. We just dominated the first half, really. Obviously, we weren't amazing in the second half, but it doesn't really matter. The great thing was we got our defenders and our defence slightly back into form, even ever so slightly, and that's what we definitely needed, especially heading into the finals. It was also good to see us perform that well without Murphy and Darcy Moore. Seeming we had those two out, it made the win even more impressive, and it was really good. And it was definitely a win that was very enjoyable. Was a little bit of a concern with Jamie Elliott having a corked quad, getting subbed out at half time. He was dominating early, kicked 2 goals, looked really good, but unfortunately got subbed out of the game. Just a precaution, should be alright for the final in a few days. And yeah, I guess there was a few players that definitely stepped up, a few players that were pretty quiet. Speak about them soon. Players that are definitely in danger of losing their positions in the team come finals. But firstly, before I do all that, I just want to say congratulations to Tipper and Andrew Phillips on great careers. Hopefully their retirements go well and go to plan. And it will certainly be interesting to see what Essendon do over the off season. But yeah, obviously our focus is the finals. And having a few players in form and a few X-factor players, I guess you could say, playing and getting a few players back. Darcy Moore will be huge this week for our qualifying final. Definitely need him back. Nathan Murphy means our defenders. Despite our defence doing so well, it will be a pretty big selection squeeze in our defence, and it'll be pretty difficult to see who goes out, and it will probably definitely affect them. But it was really good to see Tom Mitchell play back into form. He was ridiculous. Almost best of field, in my opinion. 33 touches, kicked a goal, was superb. It's exactly what we wanted from him. He responded beautifully from poor patches of form recently and did really well. And yeah, really pleased with his performance. Jordan DeGoey probably was best of field, kicked a goal, 27 touches, was superb. He's been a bit down on form recently too, so it was great to see him, back to his best. Braden Maynard's looked a whole lot more ferocious than recently in that game as well, so it was good to see. Josh Dacos just doing what he does best. It'll be nice to see if his brother Nick can join him in a couple of weeks' time. And yeah, there's obviously a few other players. Jack Ginnivan was close to our best. Kicked 3 goals, was humongous. Brody Mychek also kicked 3 goals. It's exactly what we want from him. Jeremy Howe played really well in defence. So it'll be interesting to see what we do with him as well. Will Hoskin-Elliott, in my opinion, had his best game of the season, and Isaac Quainer was really good as well, as you'd expect. Unlucky not to get an All-Australian jumper throughout the week. Obviously, congratulations to Josh, Darcy and Nick on their All-Australian selections. I was meant to do a bit of a All-Australian predictions video, but I just couldn't get it out, obviously, because just no time with all the homework I've been getting. And sorry about the late review again. And Yeah, I guess there's not that too much more else to talk about. It's just a perfect performance, but there is a lot to talk about the finals. And obviously, we've got our first final this week against Melbourne, qualifying final at the G. Obviously, we've celebrated our minor premiership, but now we've got to really get to work. We've got a great vibe of energy around the club at the moment, despite us being perhaps a little bit down on form. And I really love Craig McRae saying straight away, I told you we're not down in form, because a performance like that proves that we're not in a form slump. Sure, we weren't having a fine patch of games there, but it was always important to get a nice win, and a big win definitely helped as well. Give the boys some extra confidence heading into the finals. Obviously, a huge game Thursday night. Now, I do have a few announcements to make over the next couple of weeks. I won't be in Australia, so it will be pretty difficult to get YouTube videos out, but I will try my best I guess to try and get reviews out and my predictions as well for finals and all that good stuff, and if anything else happens, I don't know, big in the AFL, I might be able to do 1 or 2 videos, but yeah, I might have to do some when I get back as well, so sorry about that. I will be able to, hopefully be able to watch the games overseas, so that would be nice. And yeah, it was a very, very good performance. Definitely a much needed one on last weekend, and yeah, not really that much else I could say about the performance, really. Hopefully we can, do well in the finals, and hopefully we don't need to go the long way round like last year, because it will be a lot harder to get to the grand final, let alone win a prelim final. If we do lose to Melbourne, we will have to play, most likely, Carlton in a semi-final. That will be difficult, and if we even get a chance to win that, we will play Brisbane at the Gabba, which is impossible to win. So yeah, it's not looking good, our chances, if we do lose. That's why the game is so important. Expecting not only this game, but all of these finals games to be high pressured, intense, really, really close. You're going to have to bring great physicality, great pressure. You feel like maybe early on there could be a few mistakes, so it'll be whoever maybe capitalises on their chances as well. We know Melbourne have been pretty inaccurate. Jake Melksham out now with an ACL is another big thing there. It'll be very, very interesting to see what happens, and hopefully we can get the job done against the D's next week. And I will see you guys in the next review on the channel.